Hi everybody, it's Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio, and today is another vintage quilt block for you. This is called the Baton Rouge block, and I used a pink and a yellow in my low volume background for this block. This one is a beginner level block. It uses half square triangles and squares, and that's all there is to this one. So it goes together pretty easily and pretty quickly. So I hope you'll stay with me and I'll show you how to make this block. Here are the fabrics that you're going to need to make the Baton Rouge block. For A, you need 4 2.5-inch squares. For B, you need 4 3-inch squares. C is 4 2.5-inch squares. D is 4 3-inch squares, and E is 9 2.5-inch squares. So the only unit that we're making in this block is half square triangles. So we'll need the D and the B pieces for that. So on the wrong side of the D pieces, you want to draw a diagonal line, and you can use a pencil or a pen or any kind of fabric marker that you are used to using. And we're going to start by making the half square triangles. So let's go to the sewing machine and work on them. Okay, so now I'm going to take the B and the D squares and just pair those up and sew a 1/4 inch away from the drawn line on the back of the D squares. So we're just going to match these up and do that, and have right sides together. Now if you have triangle paper or foundation paper of some kind to make half square triangles, you want to use that. You know, that works too. And I'm going to lower my stitch length to 2.0. And we're just going to sew on both sides of this line. So just swing it around and sew on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it apart on the drawn line. And now I have 2 half square triangles. So this is what I have. I have 2 of these, and I'm going to chain piece everything else together. And when I get them all sewn together, then I'm going to square them up so that they measure 2.5 inches square. Okay, so now I need to trim these down to 2.5 inches square. So I'm going to line the seam up with the diagonal line on my ruler, and then put the edges at the 2.5 inch mark. And then trim these 2 sides. Now I have a 2.5 inch square. There we go. And I just need to trim off this little dog ear now. So I'm going to do that with all 8 half square triangles. Okay, now we're ready to put the block together, so we need to lay it out so we get everything in the correct order. And just follow the diagram on the pattern and you can get that done pretty easily, I think. So we're going to start with the half square triangle, and then we need an E square, C square, and then another E square, and another half square triangle. And this one is going to face outward. So all the ones on the corners are going to face out. Now when we get to the center, they're going to face different directions. So that is what you have to watch. So another E, half square triangle. This one faces this direction. An A square, half square triangle. Now this one faces this direction. These are going to kind of spin around, so you have to watch that. And then we need another E square here, and a B or a C square, an A square, an E square, and another A square, and a C square. And then the next row starts with an E, half square triangle, and this one faces this direction. Need the last A square here, another half square triangle, and this one faces this direction. And then an E, half square triangle, faces out, another E, a C square, another E, and a half square triangle. So double check with your pattern when you get it all laid out and make sure you've got everything in the right place. And all of these are kind of spinning around, so they're all following. The points are going in different directions. So I know I've got this all correct. So I'm going to go ahead and sew them together in rows and then sew the rows together. So I'm going to sew this seam first. So the first two pieces in each row, I'm going to chain piece them together, and then I will add the subsequent pieces to each row. Okay, so here I have all the rows sewn together, and they are chained in 2 places. These 2 rows here, these sections they're chained together, and well, actually 3 places. All 3 of these here are chained. So I'm going to cut those apart and make it easier to press. And I find it a little more difficult to chain piece with them all chained together too, but sometimes it helps me keep everything in order when I do. So for this block, since everything's in rows, you can nest your seams. So that means you'll want to sew the seams in one row to the left and the others to the right, and you can do that however you want, or you can press them open, whatever you want to do. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. So I'm just going to start and press this row to the left and then the next one to the right. It's just simpler that way, and I think I get more accurate results when I nest my seams as opposed to pressing them open. So in this row I want to press this direction. Let me give myself a little more room here. And then when we sew the rows together, there are points that need to match up to seams. So we'll have to watch that. So these points here will match up to the seams above them. And this point will match the seam here, and that one, the seam here. So we have to watch that kind of thing. Okay, so I'll double check and make sure everything looks right still, and it does. So now I'm going to sew the rows all together. Okay, so you can pin all your seams together or not, however you like to do this. I'm going to pin a couple of them anyway. And now I'm sewing with a scant 1/4 inch, and that helps keep me from blunting off the points as I sew them together. Okay, so here is the completed block, and I think it looks really nice. This is one that you can press however you feel it needs to be pressed. I'm going to press all the seams first. And you can press open, press to one side, you know, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to press this outer row out and this row in. There we go. And I don't have any water in my iron right now, otherwise I'd use some steam on it, but I didn't put any water in it today, so we'll just do with an extra long press. And I think it turned out nice. So here we go with the Baton Rouge block. Well, that is it for the Baton Rouge block. I hope you give this one a try. This one is pretty easy to do. It is a beginner level block, and it is a 10-inch square block, the one that I showed you. Of course, you can increase the size of the units or decrease them to make them whatever size you want. So, you know, do this block however you want. So I hope you will try this one. So if you like this video, click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Share the video with your friends. And don't forget to click that notification bell so you'll be notified when the next video comes up. And in the meantime, I hope you're all staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links. And to keep up with my latest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.